Alright, I just completed Doom the Dark Ages on Ultraviolence, got the Platinum, and I am done with the game, I believe. So let's quick go over a little bit of the stuff about it. First, the weapons. Doom has a lot of weapons in it, and the Dark Ages is no exception. The first weapon that you get in the game is the combat shotgun, nice single pump action shotgun that you can upgrade. Each weapon is fully upgradable with different abilities, and you can switch between types of the ability that you like and play to your taste. And each weapon, when fully upgraded, also has mastery challenges, which unlock a special skin, I guess. Skins for the weapons and for the player and for the mech and the dragon, the Atlan, I guess, not the mech. They don't matter to me because all I see is the weapon. Of all the skins, the weapon one is the only one that felt worth getting because I can't see myself. And what is the point of having a skin? Yeah, I guess in cutscenes I can see the skin, but whatever. So, combat shotgun, not bad at all. And it, like many of the weapons in this game, has an alternate version. This is the BFC, replaces the BFG. It is a crossbow in this game. As you can see, it just pretty much wipes out anything that it goes up against. There's this shotgun here. It's alright. Then the alternate shotgun class is the super shotgun, which of course is fantastic. Feels good, feels powerful, and causes a lot of heavy damage. And then there is the Impaler, which is kind of slow down time, and you can shoot a giant rail spike into enemies. I'm going to switch up the melee weapons here before I continue. But the melee weapons, there is a gauntlet, a flail, and a club. I like the club. I like the flail best. There's also a shield in this game, which I will go over in just a bit. But back to this, the Impaler, you can kind of slow down time, take a better shot. And this is the one of the nail gun class, I think is what these are. It feels most different from the other one. The Shredder is the opposite of the Impaler, and it just feels like a completely different class of weapon, and I like the difference in this one between the other one more than I like the differences in the other classes of guns. Shredder's not bad, just standard rapid-fire weapon. The Accelerator is a plasma gun. Really fast. Gets the job done. It's used for taking out shields and such. So, there's another plasma gun, and it feels a lot like a slower version of whatever the other one was called. This is the Cycler, the Accelerator. The Cycler feels like a slower version of the Accelerator. It has a tighter, less spread on it. But it overall feels like the same weapon. Just if do you want to shoot slow or do you want to shoot fast with a little more kick. Then we go over to the Ravager. Well, we'll start with this one first. This is the Pulverizer, which is the first of the Skull Gun classes. And it shoots a large spread of superheated skull shards. And the alternate version is the Ravager, which is not a widespread. Again, feels just like the other weapon, but do you want to shoot a whole room or do you want to shoot just one thing at a time? So, then there is the Chain Shot, which does not have an alternate weapon in its class, and I like this weapon a lot. What it does is you can charge it up and shoot a ball and chain out of it. Pretty simple. Then there is the Grenade Launcher, which has little bouncy grenades. And of course, the classic Rocket Launcher. Not much to say about them. Grenade launcher and rocket launcher, again, in my opinion, feel very similar. Just what do you want out of the weapon? Bouncing explosion or immediate explosion? Which brings us to the shield. This is my least favorite thing about the Dark Ages. I don't like parrying, I don't like blocking. When I am playing Doom, I want to run and gun and mow stuff down. It is interesting that they tried something different, but it is just not my thing, which makes Doom the Dark Ages of the modern Doom games my least favorite. It would be Doom 2016, then Doom Eternal, and then Doom the Dark Ages. So that does not mean that this game is bad. I was entertained by it. There was just aspects of it I did not like. The reason I don't like the parrying is, in addition to being a run-and-gun style player, I don't like that it makes all the enemies just feel like instead of having unique and cool attacks, they are shooting either orange or green at you, and it is beam, ball, or line. There is not much variety. You are watching for that, and you are reacting. It doesn't feel like a battle's going on in the room. It just feels like, okay, when I see green, I can react now. And that just was not appealing to me. Other than that, the shield is just a new gimmick, something new they tried. I hope it does not carry over into future Doom games if they do make more. Just not my thing. How about you parry and show it off? There you go. Now we'll talk a little bit about level design. The levels can be either tight and small, or vast and somewhat empty. Take a look at this map here for this level. It is a huge level and is not linear. You can solve the objectives in any order you wish. Just go to them, do them at your leisure, and at your own pace. And some levels are a lot tighter, indoor corridors and stuff, very linear, and I tend to enjoy those ones a lot more. They were just a better setup, and the levels themselves, in terms of collectibles and secrets, they usually have, I think, a max is 12 that I've seen, and they have the list there on the side of what they are, which would be neat if it did not show you where everything was on the map. These things should not be called secrets at all. It's basically like, here's the thing you need to collect, here is where it is, now it's up to you to figure it out. There's nothing secret about it. It's on the map. I just don't like that those are called secrets. And each level comes with a set of challenges that you can complete for additional rewards like gold, weapon skins, and other things like that. And that is in addition to the weapon mastery that I touched on earlier. Each weapon has different skins that you can unlock and use. My other least favorite parts about Doom the Dark Ages were what I felt were the worst segments in a Doom game that you could have come up with. The Atlan robotic mech suit segments. I guess it's not robotic if a person is piloting it, it's just a mech. They were stupid. There was 3 different types of enemies, and again, it was watch for them when they swing at you and turn screen. Dodge it, kill them. They're very linear. I think there was only one level that had something to collect in terms of the mech segment, and it was just a way to get from point A to point B, I guess more interesting than a cutscene to some people, but not to me. It felt like the pace grinded to a halt, and it got very boring very fast. Which also ties into the other thing I did not like, the dragon flying segments. It felt like I was playing Rogue Squadron or whatever that Nintendo 64 game was where you could unlock the Naboo Starfighter before Episode 1 came out. But they were just stupid. You would lock onto an enemy and it basically became a quick time event of dodging the proper direction so you can shoot them. So I believe that this game benefited from not having multiplayer because I'm not a huge multiplayer fan. However, I believe the detriment to it was adding those segments. They could have added more levels that were smaller and tighter. They could have added more demons and enemy variety to fight, but no, they chose to do that, and I did not appreciate that. But I didn't make the game. I'm sure a lot of love and work went into that programming. It's just not my flavor of game style when I'm playing Doom. Other than that, the game itself was fun enough. I am glad that I played it, and then touching on when I said I will not revisit it, I just got grinded out. Doing the weapon mastery challenges got very old very fast. Just, I don't care to fight 500 demons and shoot 100 rockets into groups of 50 demons, and it is boring. Boring, boring, boring. I was ready to be done with the game by the time I fought the last boss for the 5th time, I think. Same patterns as before and stuff. I was just ready to be done. Now, that does not mean I did not enjoy this game. It was fun. I like Doom. I just got a little tired of it near the end. Maybe I should have taken a break and not rushed to the end, because that probably cost my own personal enjoyment. Other than that, it's a worthy entry in the Doom series. It's worth playing. I recommend it if you're a fan of the game. If you're not so obsessed with getting trophies and completing challenges and 100%ing your games, then you might enjoy it a little more because you won't be so concerned with, did I miss that weapon skin 5 levels back and now I have to replay that level? Because there are parts in the levels that lock you out of the previous part of the level. And it does warn you of that when you're progressing. Like right there is a yellow diamond. It would be a doorway with an arrow going through it, and that would mean that once you go through this part, you can't return. But then it would be like a half-closed door with an arrow going out of it, which means that the level is ending. So, it warns you, and you can take the time to look at your map and see any quote-unquote secrets that you may have missed. And that is basically all my thoughts about Doom the Dark Ages. I do hope they continue this franchise, and I do hope they continue to try new stuff, and I was happy I played it. Now to move on to something else.